Yes.
Okay.
All right, we are live. This is the Rise San Diego. Just kidding. You guys missed my conversation earlier that Rise was coming to San Diego. And for a small little price of $300, you can sit in the nosebleeds.
And no dance party or swag bag or photo op for you.
But if you want all that, it's 1800. So there's that. Maybe one day, right? Maybe someday. Well, welcome to our Team Call Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a great day. I feel like we're all hitting that low. It gets dark now, so I feel like it even feels later, right?
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
feel later. Yeah.
How's everyone doing? I know this month feels weird. Agreed. Different
Yeah.
kind of month. I feel like it's the people that are ready are like the ones that have been watching forever, and they're like, you don't even invite them. They find you and they're like, okay, I'm finally ready. That's what it feels like this month. It's not
Yeah.
the like you can't just say like, hey, how are you? And they're like, oh yeah, this sounds good. I think it's the people who are like, okay, that's it. I can't do it anymore. I'm not doing another Halloween where I eat everything. I think those are the people that come find you in October.
Yeah.
So that's my
I'll say
2
on
cents.
that note, because I'm having the slowest month of 2019 so far, but I am determined. Um, for those of you who have been inviting for the last few months, if you are also feeling like you're off to a slower start this month, make sure you're following up, because just like Kim was saying, it's probably going to be the people who've been watching for a while and they need to get that message from you at the right timing. And of course, continue to invite, but know that this system works. I have all the faith in the world in this system. And as long as you are using your Success Club tracker and doing the things, then the people are going to come, the people who really want your help. And I keep praying on it every morning that the right people who truly want that life change are going to come, and they're going to join our challenge groups, and they're going to join our team, and they're going to have the best end of this decade ever, because we have the power to help them, to give them that gift. So stay in that upbeat mindset with it all. I've had conversations with Cece this week about it. I keep telling her, send me all your good reports of what's going on over there. So anywho.
And we carry on. Do you want to any announcements or anything?
The work is out. I don't think there's anybody on our team doing it yet, which is fine. Could not tell you why Beachbody decided to launch a program when it hasn't even been 100 days from the day they launch a 100-day program, but that's okay. We have a good game plan as a team in our info group. And as I say every week, you can always do your own info group or however you want to invite. But basically, we lined it up where whoever wants to do the work at the same timing as we are, it'll be the last 6 weeks of the year. So it's all going to work out fine. So I personally plan to start talking about that a ton in my stories and on all of our social media starting next week. Little sneak peeks. I'll probably do the sample workout again and talk about that. So definitely be thinking about that. This month, as we know, is Beat Your Best. So you should have gotten that email about your best. And I love that for you brand new coaches, there's a lot of recognition pieces and ways for you to win. Basically, it's a competition with yourself, even though you have no points because this is your first month. So that's all super exciting. Shout out to Cece, who is in it to win it this month. She's already signing up all the people, getting herself closer and closer to Diamond, which means she will be getting an invitation to our Diamond Retreat, January, President's Weekend, 17th to 20th in Encinitas, and we're stoked for you. I know there's quite a few of you who are right there with her. Tara also will be locking it in this week and getting her invitation, which is a big, big deal, you guys. So lots of really awesome things happening there. So congrats. And with that, I just want to point out some one thing that I've just been hearing through the grapevine is this partnering, this Success Club partnership. And I'm just going to use this as an example. We highlighted it last week too, Cece and Andrea. When you team up with somebody who has the same heart and hustle and is at a very similar place in their business, I feel like it just helps things to explode. Your excitement, your enthusiasm, your hustle, your motivation, your just all of it, your work ethic, and that urgency that we talked about last week really helps drive home that focus when you have that other person pushing you and guiding you. So if you don't have that person yet, find that person or talk to us and we can help kind of pair you guys up too. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now and throw it over to you.
No, talk away. You're doing good. You're bringing the heat. No, the partnership is huge. And I think that's honestly when you, and it's not to say that you can't talk to your coach all the time about all the things, but there's something to be said about, hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, this is my schedule. What do you think I should do differently today? Or whatever the case might be, even if it's the people that you're pairing up with for Beat Your Best, but finding that partner to run with is a really big deal. And like, hey, what did you read today? What kind of personal development did you do? What workout did you do? Hey, I noticed that you didn't post anything. Where are you? Like having that person just kind of call you out on something that you think is that important that you're willing to put the effort for, you might as well go the extra mile and just have somebody have an accountability partner for that part of your business as well. That's what we do for, our workouts. I know there are days where I'm like, I don't really want to do any of this. And like this week, I'm pushing all my workouts out of this morning and I'm having it's crazy when you change the schedule just that much. It's like the worst. I've had a headache every day. I'm like, wow, this is new. I got to change stuff. I got to get back to the mornings. Kids, you got to go to school. But I feel like it's having that accountability that really makes the difference. So for sure. Okay. So tonight, I'm going to jump right into it. We are going to talk about Success Club. And I know it's kind of a dud it's like the thing, right? The one, it's almost like the, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's like the thing that shall not be named, because it's like the thing that plagues you every single month. We have to restart and everything starts at zero, and it doesn't matter how much you hit the month before, here you are again, and you have to do it again and do it again and do it again. But the reality is this: Success Club is going to bring you success. Period. It's going to give you people to ask to coaches, because the reality is the best coaches are the ones that are already in the challenge groups. The people, we talked, we were actually talking last month about, it's like you're looking for that girl that's ready to do the business. And she's that, it girl that just jumps in and is like, okay, I'm ready to go, and just jumps on social media and does all the right things and signs up her entire family, and she's a diamond in 4 days or whatever. Yeah, those are really amazing people. And I'm sure they exist, but they're kind of like diamonds in a rough. Like apparently Disney and Harry Potter are going to be my thing tonight, but you have to, they're like few and far between. That isn't going to always happen. So that if we're not adding to our client database, the likelihood of us adding to our coach database is pretty much hand in hand. So figuring out how you are going to hit Success Club. And for those that are new, hitting Success Club means that you're helping 3 new people a month. You can get Success Club points for repeat people every 6 months, right? 6? Yeah, every 6 months. So like if they decided, let's say they bought a challenge pack in January, in June, they decided they had never purchased Shakeology again, but they were ready to re-up with a new program and they bought a completion pack, you would get 2 Success Club points for them. So just so for those that are new and wonder what that is what Success Club is. The reason is it's important for your own personal business. And again, it's not a mandatory thing. You don't have to do that. You could just sell product. You're going to make money as well. But the reality is that Success Club holds a place in Beachbody's world that says, hey, come. We see that you're doing the things. We want you to be a part of this with us. We want to we want to highlight you. We want to blow you out of water. And that's kind of what they kind of give all the accolades to. So you really want to be hitting it. Once you've hit Success Club 12 or for 12 months, you become a Success Club All-Star. And then if you've hit it for 2 years, you become a Success Club Legend. And when you go to Summit, you're going to get big award things that you get to wear around your neck, and you get to, you get to go on stage if you've hit Success Club 10. And there's just a lot of really fun things that go hand in hand with it. So I highly recommend figuring out how it is that you're going to do it. Now, that's probably what you're asking me. Kim, of course I've been trying to hit Success Club. This is a reality. I'm not, the minute you join our team, we're going to tell you, go hit Success Club. I wonder how many times I'm actually going to say those two words before the end of this. But here is what, because not to like put myself out there as like a Success Club guru, because I'm definitely not. However, I do feel as though I have found a rhythm of at least hitting Success Club 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 every month. I would say those are like my ranges. And I think that number one, I've been in the business a longer time, so it gets better as you stay more consistent, right? But the reality is this: I bleed what I preach. So my posts line up exactly to who I am every single day, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If I'm having a bad day, my stories are going to hear about it. But guess what? There's always a layer of icing on top. Every bad day turns into something good, because that's the reality of what it is to become a Beachbody coach, in my opinion. I talked to a girlfriend today who she struggled with depression really bad at postpartum, and to the point where she was receiving shock therapy. And the only thing that pulled her out was her moving every day and finding this tribe and working out and finding herself again. That's the reality. And I know that's the story for a lot of us. And so I think when you lead with the heart behind every single post you make, every single thing you do, all of a sudden people just want to be a part of that contagious thing that you have. Your life has to look better. If it isn't changing, then I wouldn't even worry about hitting Success Club. I would be more worried about changing who you are in the inside. If there is something not changing in your life that people can visually see or hear in your voice, then I would take some self-reflection and figure out how to make that come across better. A lot of times, a huge part of figuring out how you're going to hit it is finding new people, right? That's the reality. It's like you can only find so many people in your Facebook, in your Instagram. And so if number one, here's kind of the key takeaways, and I hate to break to you, but they're nothing you don't know. You have to have a plan for your month. Knowing what you're inviting to is half the battle. Having the blueprint to what it is that you are doing every single day is going to give you confidence. It's going to give you knowledge. It's going to give you excitement. You have to kind of get behind what it is that you're doing. So having a plan and having it in your calendar, the beginning of the month is going to be huge. I'm inviting on this. I'm doing this. This is where I'm going to plug in. Da, 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 da. You don't have to have it all set up, but you got to know what's happening so that you know where you're going to be finding these new people. Number one. Number two, you have to be showing up every single day. There's no I was listening to Rachel yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And she's like, we've worked out every single day for a year. And I was thinking about, so this girl came over today and she just joined our team, not our team, but our tribe. And she said that she was weighing all the options and she finally decided. She's literally been asking me to join for probably a year. And she finally pulled the plug and joined. And I said, I have to ask you, like, what made you finally sign up? And she said, well, I went to my gym and I asked how many times I'd been since I signed up. And he told me once. One time. One time. And I asked, well, how many times has Mike been? And he said 4 times. So they've been paying for a gym membership for an entire year and they've gone 5 times between the two of them. And she goes, I literally said, please cancel my membership. I came home and I messaged you. And I've worked out more times this week than I have the entire year that I was with this gym. And it just was such a great reminder to me. Cause I mean, how many times have you worked out this year? I probably worked 365 days. I mean, really, like maybe minus, I think I had a baby. So minus like 2 weeks there. That's all the approval I got off. So minus 14 days. Okay. So there was my, whatever that is, so 365 minus 14. And I'm not saying that that's the only thing that's going to bring you the points. But you guys, this is a battlefield for people. This little thing that we take now, in my opinion, a total advantage of is at our fingertips every single day. And we don't even think about it, right? It's just a no-brainer. We go outside. We don't want to. We push play. We I woke up Monday morning, it's cardio meltdown. That workout drives me freaking bonkers because it hurts. Not because it's so bad. It just kind of hurts in wrong ways. But we press play because it's become this non-negotiable that we just show up every day. So we have, in my opinion, found this secret ingredient to what is something that is probably the hardest thing for women in this life, and that is taking care of themselves. That's it. When we begin to take care of ourselves, we begin to take care of everything else in our life. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that our anxiety, our depression, our sickness, our diabetes, are things that go along with health. Are things going to come up? Are we going to get sick? Are we going to have stuff? Sure. But I think that we have the tools to quickly bounce back. It isn't going to take us out. That is what I know. When you begin to bleed, the whole transformation, and I mean from like tip of your head to what's going in your brain. What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you speaking? What self-talk is happening? Are you fixing your marriage? Are they fixing the way you parent? Are you breaking yourself down every day because you don't like the way you do this, that, and the other? Or are you actually making improvements in the areas that you know how? And then, your heart, you've got this workout. So every single part of you is changing. And that should be contagious. When one of the number one things I feel like I get told is I have a contagious spirit. Yes, I am doing something right, in my opinion. That is what I want. I want people to laugh with me. I want them to cry with me. I want them to celebrate with me. I want to invite them into all the little nooks and crannies. I want them to send me messages like they know me because they do, because they feel like they have a friend on the other side of a really dark place. And every single day I show up, it's like, Lord, what impact can I make today? Period. Who can I help today? What is my purpose today? This is so much more than just physical fitness. It doesn't even matter what we lose, or we take side by sides, but only because it gets people's attention. I don't take a side by side to say, hey, look at me. I take a side by side because I know it's the only thing that's going to get people's attention, because we're all in a dark place when we start. And once they clue in, guess what? It doesn't even matter what the side by side, people don't care. They're just like, I have this girl, she's been in it for so long and nothing's changing. And she's like, honestly, I feel better than I have in my entire life. I don't know what's going on with my weight. I don't know what's going on with my inches, but I don't care. I just feel I don't want this feeling to ever go away. So we have the secret ingredient to what I truly believe is the hardest thing for women. And we have to lead with that every single day. So is there a secret ingredient to how to hit Success Club? No, but there is a secret ingredient to how you can stand out amongst the rest. And it's be real. It's be transparent. It's to engage with people, going into their Instagram and liking, 5 of their posts and commenting on 3 and following them and being real, showing up in your stories every single day, and not just with the workout stuff. Guys, people barely want to know about the workout stuff. That's almost like a side. Once you get into it and you start to feel good, you're going to find your own thing that you live on, that your own like little, pedestal that all of a sudden you want to be a part of. And then all of a sudden that's what you're preaching. And the side in the fitness stuff and the that just kind of comes extra. But people want to know, well, how come you're so great at this? And you say, because I take care of me. Well, how come you know how to do this? Because I take care of me. And this is how I do it. And it's only going to cost you $160. And you're going to do it more times than you did that gym membership or that Orange Theory or whatever you've got going. And you're going to start there. And so, I wish that I could say, I think one of the hardest things as a coach is wanting this so bad for all of you, because I know how hard you all work at doing the things and inviting, and it feels like it's going nowhere. I've been there. I know what that feels like. I have purchased myself Success Club so many times, I can't even tell you. I have children, I don't even know their names under emails that I didn't even know existed. Like Jack Jensen. I don't know who Jack Jensen is, but Jack Jensen has purchased Shakeology under me before. I once wanted a little girl named Lila. She has purchased Shakeology under me before. So don't think that I haven't been there. Rough stuff. I remember New Year's Eve at like 9 p.m. and I was like, I gotta lock this in. Carter bought some, Avery bought some. I've been there. It's and I'm not saying that that's always what it has to be, but I decided a long time ago that 3 people were going to be my non-negotiable. I could find them. I can find them. I know where they are. And sometimes it means I'm asking my mom, and sometimes it means I'm reaching out to that cousin and neighbor or whoever. And the more you talk like you are rocking this business, the more people will come to you. And I know that's hard to do because it feels fake and it feels like, but I'm not, or I don't have this many people on my team. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This is our team. Hard Hitters is our team. You have a team of 1,200, however many, what's our team looking like these days? I don't know, 1,200 people, 1,400 people. You have that big of a team. You just need to lead with like you're blasting off, and people will join you. But you can't take any of it for granted. You have to show up in all of the places. And the number one thing we're going to ask is when, hey, well, what are you doing? Are you engaging on Instagram or Facebook, whatever you're running your business on? Are you showing up 3 times a day and not just with all fitness stuff? Are you inviting 10 to 20 to 30 people depending on your goals? Are you reading? Are you getting poured into? In what form or facet is something pouring into you? And I think that's it. I think those are the 4 things that you really need to be doing to make sure that it's happening. But you guys, lead with the idea you have the greatest gift to offer people. It just has to come out authentically and not, I don't know, not like you're desperate or you're whatever. And I truly believe that the more you're you and you change it up and you get creative. And this will be my only tip, really, to a tangible tip to take away. When I first started, I followed a lot of top coaches, because I wasn't the best writer. I didn't really understand like how to show my life. Or actually, there's a new book that I was going to tell you guys about. Melanie Mitchell just posted about it. I don't know if any of you guys follow her. I randomly looked at her page the other day. I don't usually follow her, even though she's basically my kind of person. The book is called, if you have a hard time telling your story, the book is called Stories That Suck by Kendra Hall. Looks like that. You can't see it, huh?
Kendra Hall is pretty good. She spoke at Leadership last year.
That's where she learned about her. I heard Kendra Hall speak at our leadership conference 1 year ago, and I was completely blown away by her gift of storytelling. So if you need a book to like help you learn how to be, better at telling your story, then maybe go check her out. But find a coach that is really like your kind of person. And if you need help in that, and go and look at what they post in their stories, and go look at, and I think Andrea always tells me this is, one of the best things I told her was go back, don't look at her today. Go back like 2 years ago when they signed up and see what they were doing when they were just starting out in their business. Sometimes I think that learning from example, as much as like it might feel like you're kind of like stalking this person, the reality is this world of social media isn't just like this common thing. We all just wake up one day and we know how to be a social media person. I certainly didn't. I still have a hard time. Sometimes I go to Andy's page and I just find something that looks like it. I mean, she's got 4 kids, just like me. What can I steal from Andy today? I mean, it's just sometimes that happens, and that's okay. And you need that. You need always go hit up my page. You know how much content's in there? When you think about how much content you've posted, it's almost disgusting. I would actually prefer someone to go use it, so then it feels like it's being used again. But find a coach that you really resonate with and follow her, and take what she does in her stories and kind of make it more like you. And but don't be afraid to believe that this is for you. I think that that's half the battle, is we think that these women are something other than what we are. They're not. You guys, everyone was just like us. We all wanted to lose weight one day, and here we are today trying to build, a better future for our families. And there is nothing wrong with that. And don't let that diminish you. And I feel like let the vitals, the 4 vitals, drive what you do every single day. Get rid of the mindlessly scrolling on social media. Figure out how to set yourself up for success and just go for it. Um, I feel like what do you have to lose? You know? What do you have to lose? I often tell people who are struggling with accountability or finishing the program, go onto social media and just share your journey. I don't care if you coach. I don't care if you even do anything. Just go onto social media, put it out there, and watch what happens. Because now all of a sudden people are watching and they're commenting and they're saying like, "Hey, you look great," or "Hey, what are you doing?" And all of a sudden you're a little bit more psyched to keep going. That's how it begins for everybody. So just remember that the worst thing that's going to happen is your life's going to change, and don't take that. That's not, that shouldn't be taken for granted. You're changing your own life in the process. So be excited and I feel like, if you're not finding joy every day, then revamp something. If you're not waking up and you're feeling more bummed out and things are kind of slow or then I always take that as an opportunity. Okay, something's got to give. What's got to change? Because I wasn't like this yesterday, and I certainly don't feel like this every day, and I don't want to feel like this. So what do you got to change? I would definitely recommend everybody to go do um I would definitely have you do the rise, do the 90 days to the end of the year. And for those of you who think you don't have to have the journal, you can go listen to the episode 72 of the Rise Up podcast, and you can learn what the journal is all about, and you can do it for free, and you can, go and glean. But I promise you, she will change your life. I don't know if you guys are listening every day, but she will change your life. And what I love to think about, I think what I love most is she totally gets Beachbody coaches. And so she's just like, go out there, be you. And she's totally into fitness. So she's got all these things. She's telling people to drink water, work out, and basically drink shakes every day. And I just kind of laugh. I'm like, you're like a really great Beachbody coach. Have you thought about joining a team? Maybe we can get a discount on that Rise Up conference. Anyway, do you guys have questions? I really wanted to save a little bit of time for questions before I just talk your ear off about all things excitement. And
I have a question.
Shocking. Just kidding.
How do you do your plan your stories? How do you go about that and your posts for the day? Because like you said, your posts that you have for your content, like how did you decide that for yourself? Because you're doing it well, you have a lot of followers. So yeah, I'm just curious, like how do you map that out, and how would you advise us new people to map that out so we get used to it?
So I always post 3 times a day. That is like a non-negotiable always, except for now on Instagram. I'm twice a day unless I go live. Then it's 3 times a day because I just let the Instagram live show up on my feed. But this is how I plan my day, which doesn't have a ton of thought except for a lot of times what I look at. So let's say it's Monday morning and I always write my posts in the morning for the whole day, all 3 posts. And usually the second post of the day is a words or a mom meme, something funny that's going to get engagement. A lot of times I'll just go to mom memes in Instagram, and I'll just kind of scroll through and find something funny. And nowadays I don't even put it into white. If I'm throwing it on Facebook, I just leave it in its like raw form. But I go and I try to find something. That's usually what I post on Facebook. And then for Instagram, usually how I think about my week is Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are like the good. That's like, I want all the good stuff layered in the beginning of the week. The invites, the call to actions, and then I don't want to say I fizzle out, but I definitely don't save anything really good for the weekend. Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. I still feel like I get good attraction on it, but I feel like it goes in one ear and goes out another. People aren't like on social media searching for that at that present time. They might find it later, but not in that moment. So that's kind of how I think about my week. So usually how I look at it is when I get up on Monday morning, I take my Instagram and I look at my 6 pictures you can't see it, but I look at my Instagram feed and I look and see what's kind of happening. Do I have too many workouts? Do I have not enough family? Do I have any food? Do I have any transformations? And then I kind of go from there. And I kind of aim to, bring people in on the journey based on what's kind of happening in my Instagram. So if you go and look at my Instagram right now, you're going to see, a variety of photos. I wouldn't say that you ever see, you're like searching to find it to be in the same location of my house. I know that sounds really silly, but I feel like that's very attractive to people. So you want to think of your Instagram as like as a storefront, right? So you want to look at it. And then I kind of plan my post that way. So, I think Monday morning, I think motivation. I really go by the hashtags. I know that sounds really corny, but it kind of keeps me in line. So like Monday, I think motivation. Maybe like a really thought-provoking Monday night. Tuesday, either transformation in the morning or transformation in the nighttime. Wednesday, we have a lot of ministry stuff on Wednesday, so it's usually about family or about women or sisterhood or tribe or my daughter or something along those lines. And then Thursday, I always have like a throwback of some nature, so it's going to be either other people. Like this Thursday, I'm going to post a bunch of transformations of people who have had success in just the nutrition only programs. And then, Friday, I think of like, it's my hardest workout of the week. At least that's how I aim for it. So I'm going to push it hard. Saturday morning, I like to do something kind of fun, like whether it's with the family working out or, family snuggles of some nature, or my workout being somewhere different. And then, Sunday is usually family. And then Sunday night is usually coaching. That's sort of like, I feel like I've been doing the same thing pretty much since the day I signed up. It's just kind of the way I follow along. It keeps my brain in line. Now, if something comes up that's rad, I just put it in. I don't even second guess. Like I just ditch whatever. I would say at this point in time, I'm talking about coaching Sunday night, maybe twice during the week, bringing people on, like, whether it's me working in the cracks or, being able to stay home and hang with all these crazy people. Does that make sense? Is it good? Does that help? Kind of. Any other questions that you have? So quiet. Keep asking.
The next one, you didn't answer how you did it on your stories. So like one of the questions
sorry,
I always ask you is, sometimes we have a lot to promote with our boot camps.
Mm-hmm.
So how, like, and Andy, that you too, you can share too, like, how do you guys formate like that in your stories and not make it so like overwhelming type of things? Like, do you choose days to do certain things so that you can make sure you get your coaching in there?
I have been more in a routine of picking certain days that I'll put like actual call to actions in my stories. I feel like every day I do it in some fashion, but for example, I'm actually making one right now that's a little bit more thought out, using word swag to make it a little bit prettier. So it's like I think a more professional looking call to action every day, whether it's right after my workout or this week, I've been trying to throw little jabs out in my stories when I'm eating, like literally in the middle of making lunch. I didn't exactly do a call to action, but I shared what I was making and I said, there's more tips like this in my nutrition boot camp. But as far as planning out, I do plan to do something Tuesday nights and Thursday nights and then Sunday nights in my story. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are calls to actions to whatever groups I'm coaching or inviting to. And then Sunday night, I like to do a call to action to coaching, specifically to coaching. I know that Kim does it a little bit differently. I don't necessarily plan my posts that way though. Sometimes I do things similarly to Kim where I like to look at what my feed looks like on Instagram. I don't worry about the look as much on Facebook, but I like to look at how my feed looks and see, am I overdoing on the post-workout selfies? Just this week, I've been trying to pay attention to different poses because I feel like I pose the same way anytime I do take a selfie after my workout. And I need it to be eye-catching. I need people to actually want to read whatever it is I'm writing. So I've been trying to take some time to go look at other fitness accounts to see how are people posing after their workout. That doesn't just look like me doing the same thing I do all the time. So think about those things too. So I don't want to post the same post-workout post every single day because that's going to fall on deaf ears. So I do kind of strategically look at when was the last time I did post one? Has it been in the last 6 pictures? And if it hasn't, then the night before I'm going, okay, tomorrow morning I need to make sure I get a good photo that's Instagram worthy and write a post. And those posts are typically motivational, inspirational, or kind of a story journey of where I'm at in my current program, or a call to action because I just did my workout. Typically it's more the motivation inspiring type. So that's how I plan out when I do those, because I don't do them every single day. Those just don't translate well for me when I'm doing them every day. I think they do fall on deaf ears after a while. So having that variety I think is important. I do the quotes also, and on my feed I do still share them on Instagram with a white background. So if you go look at my feed, you'll kind of see how often I'm doing that. It's like every 6th photo is one of those. And I also make sure I have a transformation every 6th photo. But for example, like with 100 days, if I just posted a transformation, but it's day 70, I'm still going to post those day 70 results because I've been sharing that journey all along. I'm not going to wait until it comes up 6 photos later to talk about that. I don't know if that makes sense. To newer coaches, that might be a little bit confusing. But like Kim said, if there's something that makes sense in the moment, I want to post it in the moment. I don't want that to pass me by, because a lot of times whatever I want to say is going to come a lot more naturally. It's going to be a lot easier to write and talk about and make more sense. With that, one last tip, and then I'm going to stop talking because it's not my turn tonight, but take photos, you guys. Take photos. Sometimes if I actually shower and do my hair and put on makeup, I will seriously put on different outfits and take random photos around my house to use later. On those days where I'm like, I don't have anything to say, I don't know what I want to talk about, but I can use this photo later and talk about working from home and loving the fact that I get to do this, and be home for my kids or whatever. You just have these photos of yourself because you're branding you. Or same thing with my kids. I make them line up all the time and take photos because I might not use it that day, but I'll use it another time. Or your food. If you already know what your posts are going to be the day, if you're like a good planned out person, but you made a good meal, take photos of it. You don't have to post it that it was your dinner tonight. Post it next week. Then you have another post already ready for you.
Yeah, I think we get into the habit of almost like a rushed mentality. Like we have to use what we have. Like, oh man, I gotta go. But I think the more we get into the mindset of like a little bit thorough planning, all of a sudden you kind of slow down and you think of it more from a strategic point, kind of like Andrea's over a lot at my house, and she'll be like, oh, look at this great photo, and I'm like, don't post that now. No, you save that post and you post that. That's a really good picture. You need to use that when people are paying attention. But like, that's not our mindset. Like our mindset's just like, well, why? I just took this photo. It's Instagram, like I'm gonna go post to Insta. As far as Insta stories go, I am a huge, I probably, like right now, I'm just about to post my workout on Insta stories. Like I take all the photos all day long, but I don't actually post anything to Insta stories until I finally get a little blip. I post it all, and then I go back and I do bring in some more, because that's my reality right now. I'm trying not to be on my phone, and I have small eyes staring at me all day long. And so for me, it's just easier to just remember to take the photo, take the funny boomerang, do all the things, and then I sit down and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to be methodical and I'm going to put it in my stories. So don't feel like you have to always be, in it. I would rather you take have tons of feed and then use it later. But that's helpful for me. Except for right now, when you go to sit down, you're like, okay, now I have like 40 Insta stories to put out. Which is the reality. It's fine. It's good. Any other questions, comments? Is this helpful? Do you need further, like what, you know? No? No, bueno. Don't ask more. And obviously you guys can ask questions anytime, any day. It's funny, like we ask that, like, oh, better ask him now because you never know, we might hit the desk tomorrow. Just kidding. Morbid Kim over here. Remember, what we have is very special. And I think that the more you can think of it that way, the more it's going to translate to other people better. Don't be afraid of asking your best friend or your cousin or your mother-in-law or your sister or whoever. Ask them and then show them what's working. I feel like I always like that quote. I don't remember what it is. Like you can watch, but like I'm going to be over here changing my life, you know? And then you do it. Like you just show up and you do it and you use that almost as fuel, not in a bad way, not in like a look at me way, but you do it because you want to inspire them to make the change themselves because you know that they need to. And I just think that there's so much in that. So yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry, one more question.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so what do you do in your warm? What would your guys' strategic planning be when your warm market runs out? They're failing you.
Okay, I will say you should never feel like your warm market is running out if you're following the Success Club tracker. Somebody said that in a call that I listened to recently, and I was like, you're right. I cannot tell you how many times after almost 6 years of being a coach that I felt like, oh my gosh, I have no more warm market. A lot of months, even now, people who I would consider my warm market are still coming to me. So your warm market is not gone. I promise you. And if you're doing the things that we teach you on social media, then your warm market is always growing. It's still there. A cold market, and now this is what I heard on a call. A cold market is truly people who have they're not following you. They've never heard of you. They have no connection with you at all whatsoever. That's a cold market. But anybody in your sphere, anybody on Instagram that's following you, liking your stuff, commenting on your stuff, as you're working to expand your market, those are still warm market people. So I want to challenge you guys to not be in that mindset that your warm market is ever going to dry up, as long as you're continuing to expand that network. And even with Facebook, there's so many people who even still, when I go through Facebook, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I not friends with this person? Or people who I have 20 mutual friends in common with, that's another mom in the community that I could strike up a conversation with. I'm going to warm her up real quick and get her into my warm market. So don't let that scare you. Don't let that be a wall. And I say that because I feel like I've done that a lot, and I let it put that fear in me that like, oh my gosh, my warm market's going to die and this is all going to tank. It's not. It just grows. You continue to grow like a new warm market all the time by expanding your market. So as long as you're not reaching out to people who literally have like no connection with you at all, then you're good. You're warm, and you just keep going and you keep planting those seeds and warming those people up with your posts. And like Kim was saying, where they feel like they know you because you're so transparent on your social media every single day, then they're nice and warm. And the people in your like true warm market, the people you actually know like in real life, they'll continue to come. And those are always the best yeses, in my opinion, because you're like, finally.
Only because I feel like I can share this. But so Andrea's warm market is basically the worst warm market ever. I feel like they purposely, here's my theory on her warm market in general. I feel like it's a lot of really unhealthy people. in different ways, not in just physical at all, in a lot of mental, dealing with a lot of mental stuff. So her post hit a nerve that they're not ready to accept. It's almost like when someone says something to you and you're like, and you get all mad and defensive, and then you like go away for a while and you're like, man, I'm so mad and defensive because they're totally right. That is my theory on, if you look at if you really pay attention to who's on your warm market, you have a lot of that. That's unfortunately a lot of the people. And it really depends on what kind of people you are, were in your past. I mean, that's the reality, is your warm market is your past, right? Maybe a couple of your presents, but most of it is the people from your past. So, but think of it as like an opportunity. Cold market, in my opinion, like the people who have no idea who you are, they're so much easier. And I would much rather talk to people I don't know than people that I do know. I'm so much more confident. I feel like I don't stumble on words. With like the people that I feel like I know, I'm like so reluctant to say anything that might in any way set them off and them think that I'm just like trying to be a selling friend or something. And so with people I don't know, I just feel like I get to be real and excited and drop all the knowledge that I've got and come do this with us. And so think of growing your market is honestly one of the best opportunities. I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite posts to read on sometimes when I'm looking through some of the top coaches is like, I didn't know this girl and now she's like my very best friend. Like your future best people in your life, people that you might travel the world with, people you might grow old with and see your family and like go to Punta Cana or I can't think of anywhere else except for there because we're going in 5 months. P.S. Wherever we all go, but like Greece, there's one. Greece, France, all these places that you could be like traveling with them. I actually think of I don't know if you guys know Margot Martin. She's not on our team, but like we spent a ton of time in Mexico together, and she's just like this. Like my husband always asks about her and her husband. We would never have met except for we met online. We're like little internet friends. And like I think of Jenna Marie, she's not on the call tonight, but she's always like, I feel like you're my internet bestie. Like I really do. And I'm like, yeah, because we know, I don't know about you guys, but I tell you all more than I tell most people in my life. Flat out. When I check in at nighttime, I'm checking in like the real raw deal. I don't tell everybody that. So you tell me that it's not as real as it gets. And if you're not checking in the real stuff, start checking in the real stuff, you guys. Watch your life change when you let people in. Best thing you'll ever do. Besides become a Beachbody coach and maybe get married and have kids. You haven't done that too. I mean, it's a close second, third.
So like when you work, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Now you go. I've asked all the questions. Go.
I was just going to say, kind of piggyback off of what Andrea was saying, because I feel like that's true for me too. A lot of my closest family and friends are in some sort of like denial. And it's really frustrating because I let it bother me, and I want to force them. I want to force like a certain 20 of them to change. And it's just frustrating when they sort of kind of try and then they don't. And then not only do they not, but then they have something negative to say about what I'm doing because it makes them mad that they can't seem to get it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. I totally feel that same issue going on with a lot of people, that I feel like if they would just do what I'm saying, if they would just trust me, and like they do in all other aspects of their life, they would just do this one thing, I could show them how easy it could be to change. And it's so frustrating because it's the closest people, the people that are the closest to you, that you want this for the most, because they struggle. They wake up every day and try to find the baggiest shirt to put on that they can hide behind because they are uncomfortable in their skin. And I just feel like I just don't want that for them. So it's frustrating. It's super, super frustrating not to take it personal when it's like family. And then I was also going to say, do you have a method for your posting? Like, I struggle with posting on Instagram in the place that it stays, which is crazy if you even think about it, because it's what everyone can see and my stories go away. But the stories feel so natural to me. And so do you have a method of like these 3 posts I do are going to be about what I do, and this is going to be about my kid like passing their math test. Like I don't know how much of my life to put on where it stays, and how much of it needs to be about like bringing people in to do what I'm doing. You know, I kind of get caught up.
For me, I think kind of like what Kim was saying, it's easier to think about it on the days. Like Sunday through Wednesday are the days that I feel like I need to be on point with my messaging, but it can't be all fitness and coaching. There's got to be a vibe. So I kind of think of it in terms of like one post a day needs to be where I'm like breadcrumbing what it is that I'm doing, whether I'm talking about my workout, whether it's something food related, or whether it's coaching related. And that doesn't mean it has to be a call to action. It just means it needs to be talked about in some way every day. And then I typically do 2 posts a day. So then the other post tends to be something more family related, whether most of the time it's my kids, or sometimes I'll talk about something around my house, or some days it's just a quote or whatever. So Mondays, that tends to be something motivational, and then something about my kids. Tuesdays, I'm trying to do something more like food like. So if that kind of helps you break it down, like, okay, where are we at in the week? You know, Friday through Sunday evening. I think Sunday evening is when people start getting back on their phones and paying attention to social media. So I'd say Friday through Sunday afternoon are dead zones. So
Yeah.
That's when I do more like kind of, I don't want to say random, because I still think about what I'm posting, but I'm not going to take the time to write something like long-winded and really pour my heart out on those days typically, because nobody's listening. But I will say that think about what makes sense in your life. Like for me, I actually, now that I say that, I'm going to take it back a little bit, because Friday nights are a big deal to me. And this is something I've talked about all the time ever since I started coaching, because I used to work every single Friday night. So Friday nights now we have football. I used to work as a nurse. So Friday nights we have football, and every Friday somehow I'm talking about that, how I get to be at the football games and not worrying about rushing up to work and whatever it is, because I get to be here. Some days it's just me taking a picture with my kids on the football field saying, this is my happy place, or this is my favorite place to be on a Friday. So kind of sprinkling it in. So think about, you know, what does that look like for you? I think having that overall outline of what your post will be during the week is so helpful in your headspace. It doesn't mean you have to write them out. I never write my posts out early. Maybe a day ahead. That's as early as they get. Is that helpful, Tara?
Yeah, I think like for example, I feel like I need to start doing more like questions. Sorry, I've been driving my car this whole entire time, and so I haven't been able to like pop on and say things when I wanted to. But I feel like I need to start doing like some like stop overthinking it and make it simple, like a picture of like I do a lot of design and like home decor type stuff, and when I'm doing my Insta stories and I'm like rambling through like which tile should I choose for the pool, like I have like 75 messages about people who want to like weigh in on what tile I should choose, and then I ask about fitness stuff and there's like 4. So I feel like that gets so much more traction, and so maybe I should start putting that kind of stuff in my everyday feed and like asking more questions so that people are engaging with my page more, even if it's not about fitness. But then I worry if I go off too far, then I'm not even like, do people even know, you know? I don't know.
Have you ever watched I feel like, well, not right now because but like who just moved? Kelsey Shackley, I feel like, is constantly doing design stuff and asking people like, hey, can you look at which bathroom, which toilet should I use? And she does a really good job on her personal page. Unfortunately, her husband has heart failure, and that's pretty much what her posts are all about these days. And so, but I feel like I would go and like see like what some of these other coaches are doing and how they're bringing it all in.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big part of me, like design in all different kinds of ways. And I feel like right now I want to focus on like getting more people to my page. And so if one post a day is about my commitment to my workouts and you know, fitness side of things, and the rest is like family, kids, and you know, like currently what I'm doing in the house, like I feel like that would be, because I go follow people for design. Like I go look at people's pages that are like doing outfits of the day, and design. So I feel like there's no reason why I can't be doing that on my page. I think I just get in this headspace where it needs to be a fitness page, and it doesn't need to just be a fitness page.
No, not at all.
Right?
We're so
Right?
much more than that.
Yeah.
You're so much more than that. Than just a fitness human. You can do whatever you want. But yes, but I would, make sure you're sharing the transformation, like make sure you're still getting that stuff in.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to have, you want to make sure people are also knowing what you're all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tara, you are overthinking
it. We've had
I think you're overthinking it to the point of not posting.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And you want to post, so do whatever you got to do to post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to write it out and have your game plan for the week. Even if it's the same Sunday through Saturday, this is what you post on those days, then just start doing it. You're always going to talk about football on Saturdays. You're always going to talk about, maybe church and serving at the church on Sundays. And then you're always going to talk about coaching Sunday night. And then, whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
Monday, you're always going to talk about your workout and something motivational. And you're also going to talk about something around your house, the pool, picking out curtains, whatever.
I would definitely have a little. I would definitely have a little plan for you, and then just stick with that and show up every day. And you know what's the easiest thing if you're having trouble posting? Get some verbiage, guys. Do the quotes. They go so far. People love them. It's such an easy filler. You can do really cute, like maybe you want them all to be in a row, or maybe you want them to be every third row. Whatever you want to do. Just that. I mean, that's such an easy win.
I swear those get the most attention. So I still share the one that I took from Ashley Simpson. It's still going off. It has over 4 million views. So I took a quote. 4 million. I took a quote, you guys, I took it from Ashley Smith, who apparently took it from this mom blogger. And it's a really good quote. So,
but the mom blogger is now writing blogs about everyone stealing her posts. It's actually gone crazy viral. It's wild.
Yeah. I haven't had any hate on mine, but I've had people tag her, and then I just re-tag her saying, thanks, this is a great quote. What else am I supposed to do? I'm not going to delete it. But
I love it.
Is this on your feed, on your actual feed?
It's on, I put it on Instagram too, but my Facebook page, not my personal page, but my Facebook page is where it blew up. It has over 4 million views. It has over 1,000 likes, and I forget how many comments, 1,000 comments, because people tag moms. It's something about, I can't even remember what the quote is. Don't tell a mom she looks tired. Tell her she's doing a great job. So a bunch of moms are tagging other moms. It just keeps going. Tag, 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 tag. But you know what? Sorry. I don't know how you copyright quotes that you openly put on the internet.
It's pretty challenging. I haven't quite figured it out either.
But anyways, I have a weird question. So I get a lot of creeper messages from guys that just go into my
just delete and block.
Right? Okay. I just want to make sure. We don't have to reach out to them or anything, right? We can just ignore them.
No. Deleted instantly.
I think it's just because I will tag single mom because I'm trying to get other single moms on my page, and then it's hey, and I'm why? I don't need anytime I post a new post and it is a picture with me in it, I get 20 to 40 messages. If I post a picture of my daughter or a quote, I get 1 or 2, and I'm come on, people, I just want some traction and not from you creepy guys.
Oh man.
I know, I don't really get the creepy guys. So weird.
What do they expect?
I don't know.
Get from that? I don't understand.
I don't either. It's really annoying. Mine are all in pretty much every Mohammed out there. That's who I hear from.
Mohammed.
Just Mohammed. I swear, I'm like, really? Someone asked me if I would sell them photos today of my toes. I said, block. Block. Thank you. I'm not going to sell you pictures of my toes. I mean, I should have said, how much?
I could use the money. It's just some toes.
I can send you pictures of anybody's toes.
I was gonna say.
Right? Google
They don't
toes.
have to be my toes. Oh, goodness
Weird.
me. I know. People are weird. I mean, it's weirder out there. Anyway, before we go down a really bad tangent of all of the chaos. Anybody else have anything else that you want to talk about? No?
Cece's like, I want to go to bed. Let's wrap
know.
it up.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'm
Go to
teasing.
sleep.
Is it 11 o'clock there?
Are we going to see you at No Snooze Cruise tomorrow? No Snooze Cruise. I do it every morning. Welcome to the No Snooze Cruise.
Where are we cruising to? That sounds way better.
To our garages. To our workout rooms.
My child has been vomiting all day, so
Oh, you need
No,
to go on
Emma's
a different kind of
sick too.
cruise.
She couldn't hang out because sick baby.
Who's sick?
Hmm?
Who's sick?
Emily's one of Emily's
Oh,
little
I saw
guys.
that. Sad. No sick baby is so sad. Okay, gals. Well, let's go change some lives, okay? It's only the 9th or 7th of the month.
Next, it's the 8th, but next week
Oh, yes. Thank you.
is Challenger team call. So invite your challengers. We'll talk about things. We're going to be a little bit more organized this time. We're going to have something to talk about. We don't know what yet, but it'll be good. So bring your challengers. Our hope for those calls, guys, is that it gets them more engaged in the groups, of course, gives them a place to ask questions, and hopefully gives them a little vibe of our team so they want to join the team. So
Maybe
bring your challengers.
maybe one of these tribe calls we should do like a meal planning sesh.
Ooh, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, or even like a quick, like, I don't know, like a Trader Joe like haul or something like that. Just kind of be cool, just to change it up.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, Asta.
Nighty night.
Peace out. Send me your toes. Just kidding. Oh.